All right, we'll go ahead and get started. Thank you all for joining us this afternoon for another one of our Start Something series marketing webinars. This is our fifth of six webinars that we're doing all around marketing for startups and entrepreneurs and businesses. So far, we've covered marketing fundamentals, copywriting, social media marketing, branding. Today we'll be talking about landing pages and websites, and then next week we'll be wrapping up this series with e-newsletters, email marketing, and traditional newsletters. So, we're really excited to see the traction that these have gotten. Although it wasn't our original plan to deliver them this way, we have really seen some great feedback, and because of that, we're planning some future webinars all around entrepreneurship as well. So stay tuned for that. We're in the planning phases of that, but we will be releasing information pretty soon on what that looks like going forward. With that being said, we'll go ahead and just jump right in. Today, what we'll be talking about will be, like the title is, landing pages, but the difference between a website and a landing page. We will be talking about the importance of landing pages, what lead magnets are, and the important elements of designing a landing page, collecting information, split testing, and different resources. Before or during this kind of introduction, if you're gonna go ahead and just do a quick intro for yourself in the chat. Some new faces, some familiar faces. It's always good to see who's here. Make connections, who you are, what you're working on. If you're a student or if you're an employee or an entrepreneur, it'd be great to just kind of virtually meet everybody. So with that being said, I'll go ahead and introduce myself. If you weren't on my first webinar about scrappy branding, this will be maybe new to you, but again, my name is Grayson Kostelecki. If I have not met you or virtually met you, great to meet you. I have been working full-time at the Papa John Center for Entrepreneurship for about 2 years at this point, coming up on my 2-year anniversary. Prior to that, I worked in digital marketing and web design at Iowa State University, and I do own and operate my own freelance web design business as well, where I work with startups and small businesses, nonprofits, kind of anything and everything in between. So this particular topic really fits well with my background, and hopefully we can learn from each other, and I'll share some tips I have with you, and we'll go and get started. So the first kind of topic I want to cover is what is the difference between a website and a landing page. A lot of people think they're the same thing, or might confuse a home page with a landing page, or even a specific page on your website with what a landing page is. But in reality, they are very different. And so I'm going to go ahead and show you what the difference is with a real example. This example of Uber, I think everybody is familiar with who Uber is. But this is their website. That's their homepage, uber.com. When you go here, I'll kind of run through some general layouts or rules of thumb that websites have. Most of them have a toolbar at the top to click out to different areas on the website. They cover all the different information about what Uber offers, the different sectors they have, anywhere from riding to Uber Eats to Uber Bike, Uber Helicopter, Uber Freight, and everything in between. So we don't have a lot of those in Des Moines. We do have some of them, but I don't think we have Uber Helicopter here quite yet. As you scroll down, there's an area of, with a blog, more information to click out to different pages on the website. Again, it's really a plethora of information about your company. A couple different call to actions here if you want to be a driver or a rider. And then the footer at the bottom. So a website is really designed to cover all aspects of your company. And many companies have different types of customers as well. Uber, for example, has several different types of customers. If we go back up to their offerings. You have just for example, the Uber ride. You can either be a driver or a rider. Those are two very different customers. They obviously have Uber Eat. Maybe some of us are taking advantage of that right now if we aren't trying to leave our house a whole lot. Obviously, and then a bunch of other ones, Uber Bike, Elevate Business. So they have a lot of different sectors, a lot of different targeted customers, but a website will cover all of it, and you can click out to different pages and learn more. While a landing page, this is an Uber specific landing page, is really targeted at one type of customer. This particular landing page is targeted at gaining more drivers. So it is all focused on that one specific customer. And as you see, the page is a lot more simple, features some benefits about becoming a driver, some other information, a very simple chart, and a pretty clean footer. If you notice, you can't click on anything. It doesn't take you anywhere. The whole point of a landing page is to keep you on one page. There's no menu here at the top, and is to keep you on one page, and the goal is for you to fill out this inquiry form here to become a driver. So again, this particular page is very zeroed in on one specific type of customer, and there will be, Uber probably has dozens, if not hundreds, of landing pages out there. I see a quick question. Landing pages are always targeted toward one specific customer. I thought this is for everyone. So it really depends on the size of your business as well. I will touch base on that, I think, in the next slide. If I don't answer that, please let me know at the end, and I'll kind of address that as well. So we'll hop back into the PowerPoint, and hopefully this maybe addresses your question on when you should build a landing page, or who should have a landing page. There's a couple different answers to that, and I'll start with the first being, if you are early in your entrepreneurial venture, maybe you have an idea and you are ready to maybe start sharing it a little bit, but you don't have the budget or the time or anything to have a website, a full-fledged website. A landing page is a really great resource to have to start collecting leads, have a web presence. Believe it or not, not everybody has a Facebook page. So just because you have a Facebook page is not a supplement for having web presence on Google. So building a one-page landing page is a whole lot easier than building a full website. And I'll go into, over the next few slides, what a landing page should look like in comparison to a website. But it is a great opportunity for you to build, get your first web presence out there, get a domain, and kind of start from there. So that's, before you build a website, it's a lot easier to build a landing page for sure. But let's say you are in business and you're like Uber or somebody that's been around a while, and you have a website, a full-fledged website. Why should you have a landing page? Because you have all this information on your website. Well, again, landing pages at this level are specifically targeted or aligned with generally campaigns, marketing campaigns, whether they're social or Google or whatever. You're really trying to target one specific type of consumer, and you're going to be running multiple ad campaigns at the same time, whether that's targeting different types of consumers, and each one goes to the specific landing page. But again, you're really just trying to get leads from these landing pages, get people's information, and really start the top of a sales funnel. And I'll address that a little bit later. And then, eventually they might become familiar with your brand. They'll know your website at that point as well. But again, these landing pages are really, really specific to one type of customer, one type of ask for them. Daniel, yes. Basically, your question did are they targeted for everybody? Specifically, if you are somebody that is in business and has a website, already up and running. Your landing pages really should be specific for a certain campaign or a specific type of customer, or a specific offering that you are providing. But if you are, really just getting started in a business, you don't have a website yet, and you're ready to maybe start having something other than a Facebook page, just an initial landing page to collect information a little bit about you, is a great place to start. And I'd be happy to talk more with you after this presentation if that wasn't clear. So now I'm going to jump into some best practices on how to actually build a landing page or what it should look like. I'm not going to tell you exactly specific things such as, your headline should be 5 words, or your call to action should be in 3 places, or should be above the fold, or all these other specific design elements, because there really is, there's a lot of research out there, and it changes daily as far as best practices go. And it also should be specific to each company, and each sector and each consumer. What best matches your brand, and that that's really up to you and your designer as far as the specific layout of how a landing page looks. But I'm going to talk about elements that should be a part of every landing page. So the first is just keeping it simple. Like I've mentioned earlier, landing pages should be really specific to one sector. So I'll show you an example of this Wix landing page, really showing one offer, one message, and one call to action. So Wix, if you're not familiar, is started out as a platform to build websites, but they also do logo creation, email marketing, graphic design, domain purchases, all sorts of stuff on Wix. So they offer a variety of different things. But this specific landing page, which is different than their website normally has a menu bar up here, is all about just building a website through Wix. So you'll notice that all of the messages are about building a website through Wix. Their ask is for you to use Wix, and their call to action is start now. So although there's several different buttons and areas for you to start building with Wix, it is all the same ask. They're not asking you to design a logo or do email marketing with Wix. It's all about building a website with them. It's very clean, it's very simple, and that's just one example of a landing page that is very targeted to one area. The next bit that should be in a landing page is our features and benefits. This particular landing page here on the right is with a company called Western Rise. I have no idea who the company is, but apparently they sell clothing. And this particular landing page is all about this specific type of pants. Everybody owns pants, and you kind of have to own pants, but there are 3 key benefits or features really show why you should purchase these pants over something else that you currently own or a different brand. It's very short and simple, easy to read. Using icons is a great resource or great design element you can do. Most people are on landing pages for less than 15 seconds before they decide what they want to do. And really that number is probably closer to 5 or 6 seconds before they click away. So having something that is easy to really glance over, so using icons, imagery, that sort of thing, is really important, and just keeping it simple and clean with a lot of white space. Shwana, yes, I can get you these slides after the presentation, so don't worry about that. We'll be sending this YouTube video out as well. So the next element that you should be on a landing page is social proof. And there's a couple different ways you can do social proof or prove your business. The first being, this is the landing page for a staffing company for restaurants and hospitality. And right there in the middle, they showcase all of the companies and restaurants that work with them. So they're using a lot of logos that are recognizable in that industry. So if you have the ability to showcase who your previous or current customers are, and if it's recognizable brands to really help you, it's a great way to really elevate your business and prove that you should be working with these potential customers. Another way is through traditional testimonials. This is more of the bottom of that landing page, so they actually have social proof twice here. And these are just traditional testimonials with images, which give some real life to who they are. It's not just made up words. And if you even have the ability to take it one step further, doing a video, short video testimonial is even better. The more times you can use video, it's more engaging. It's a lot better. Now I know not everybody has either the budget or skill set or equipment to shoot quality video, and totally understandable. So if that's the case, you can stick with just traditional testimonials, but again, keeping them short, very easy to read, but really give some validity to your company. So I mentioned this earlier, and collecting leads is really a important part of a sales funnel. I believe Diana talked about a sales funnel briefly in her Fundamentals of Marketing, the first webinar that we did, but I'll just touch on it real quick. Again, the whole point of a landing page is an integral part of the sales funnel for your business. So at the top, the awareness section of the funnel essentially represents everybody who are potential customers of your business. And then the getting them in contact with your business through ad campaigns or other marketing campaigns, and getting them to become a lead is that next line down. There's a lot of ways to do that, but lead pages are a great way. And so essentially you're collecting a bunch of leads, or another word for that is just contact information for your customers. So then you can do a marketing campaign and a sales campaign to get them to eventually become purchasers and users of your business. So that just real short, a landing page or collecting user information or customer information is really kind of the end goal of a landing page. So how do you collect those leads? The most common and used way is through something called a lead magnet. A lead magnet is something that you'll see on most, if not all, landing pages. And the reason behind that is because most people won't just give you their information for nothing. It's really a two-way street. How often are you going to go just free-willing, giving out your name and email and phone number and address just to some random stranger? But if they're going to give you something in return, there's a trust factor there, and they're more likely to provide that information to you. So here's a couple quick examples of lead magnets that are common. The one being a discount or a coupon off your first order. The other one is a downloadable cheat sheet to go viral when writing blog posts. So those are just two examples of what lead magnets are. Here's another list of some other common lead magnets. And it's really kind of up to you and your business and your industry to figure out what is the best lead magnet for you, what you can offer, and what your customer is most likely to be attracted to. So whether that's a coupon or maybe a free trial, very common ones are checklists or templates or calendars, depending on what sector you're looking into. But really, what are your customers wanting? What kind of bait can you hook them with so they can provide some information for you and that would be useful for them? So next, we're going to talk about the information that you should collect. There's a fine balance between asking for too little and too much information from a consumer. So this example on the right is a ebook on the complete guide to Facebook ads. And all they're asking for is your first name, your email, and your business website. So not all that much information they're asking for. The email is the most important part. It is kind of the integral part of collecting information. You can do a lot with just an email, but obviously having more information about these consumers, the better. The next example is, I believe this is a for sale by owner real estate website. And so they're asking for your name, your email, your phone number, but also some additional information as far as where you live. Do you have are you pre-approved with a mortgage? Do you have a realtor? So a few more questions. So obviously we all want as much information about all of our consumers as possible. But the more information that you ask for, the more likely that they are not going to opt in and they'll just cancel out of the page. So you have to find that balance between finding the right or asking for the right amount of information without getting too intrusive and they don't leave your page and don't opt in altogether. So at minimum, email is the minimal thing that you need to ask for if you're going to be doing a digital campaign with them afterwards. I would suggest starting on the low side, so name, email, whatever the minimal viable information that you need. And then if you just get overwhelmed with leads, which is a great thing to have, you can start asking for more and more information that is hopefully helpful for you and your business. And that lead generation might slow down a little bit, but you're getting more quality leads with that as well. So it's finding a balance of asking too much information, but getting enough information that you need for it to be useful. Next, I'm going to talk a little bit about split testing. Split testing is a very common marketing term in email design, ad design, website design. And essentially that means if you work, you'll have two different lead pages that have the same goal. And the goal is to collect leads for a specific sector of your business or specific product. But they'll have a couple, one or two very big differences within those two websites or two lead pages or landing pages. And it could be a headline, it could be an offer, it could be an image, it could be the colors of the buttons. And about 50% of your consumers are going to go to your landing page A, 50% will go to landing page B, and you'll see which one performs better. I do recommend just doing one or two changes or alterations on the two landing pages, because if you have two completely different landing pages and one performs way better than the other, you're not really sure why. But if you have very similar landing pages with different headlines or different images, you know that the images are the reason it performed better. So now you go to landing page B because that one performed better, and then you make another alteration. So it's a continual testing of A/B testing of your landing page until you basically have optimized for the best results. This takes some time and some work on your end, but it's a lot better than just kind of shooting in the dark and hoping that this landing page that you designed works. But in reality, your consumers are looking for something very different, or a different offer, or a different tagline, or something like that. So again, make some pretty stark different changes, but only on a few elements, so you can hone in on what those, what is making one page more successful than the other. And if you work with software, which I'll touch on in just a second, that is designed for landing pages, most of them have the ability to easily make A and B versions of a landing page. And then you can track the success rate of those. So like I just mentioned, here are, I'm going to talk about some resources to actually building a landing page. And I do want to make it clear, I'm not going to go through and actually show you how to build a landing page in Wix or MailChimp or Lead Pages, because those tutorials already exist and there's hundreds of them that are really high quality. You can easily just go on YouTube and say, how do I build a landing page with Wix? And there's 25 10-minute videos on how to do it. And so it's not something that I'm going to go through with this workshop. I really wanted to touch base on certain elements to successful landing page. Again, what the point was and why you should have a landing page. But as far as the design of it, all of these are very easy drag and drop options, and there's tons of resources that are free out there for you to just actually create the landing page. And you don't need to hire a web developer or anything like that. Going to go back one page real quick. It looks like we have a question as far as split testing. What are the best parts to differentiate? It really comes down to testing, but I think in my opinion, it would be headlines. So what is your headline of your landing page? And then what is your lead magnet? So are people looking for discounts? Are people looking for downloadable documents, free trials? Those are kind of the two that are generally seen as like the biggest stark differences. You can mess around with imagery or colors or that thing, but that could be, I would stick with headlines and then your lead magnet as well. So back to resources to actually building a landing page. Wix and MailChimp are two of the most common platforms that you can build a landing page on. Wix is a great option, especially if you don't have a web presence right now. You can easily start with building a landing page and then converting that to a website once you get to that point. And MailChimp actually recently has added the function to building a landing page or landing pages as well. The really great aspect of using MailChimp is automatically tied into your email marketing platform, assuming you use MailChimp, again, which is one of the more popular email platforms, email marketing platforms. So it's very easy to just filter those leads right into your contact list. You can do that with these other platforms as well. Wix, Lead Pages, WordPress, all those other things can be your leads can be filtered into your email marketing platform or your CRM. But it's really nice that MailChimp now offers that ability just to do it all in one place. The other more advanced landing page builders, so Lead Pages, ClickFunnels, and Instapage, are more advanced and have a lot more functionality to them. Can easily do A/B testing on those, have a lot of analytics and data, and are a lot more customizable. They are a little bit more costly than Wix and MailChimp, but they are specifically made for lead pages or landing pages. And so it's a great resource there. I've used Lead Pages once in the past, had great results with it, and it is pretty easy to use. But again, there's a little higher price point on those. Real quickly, I'm just going to kind of go through Website 101. I did want to touch on this as far as this is just this one slide. And just so everybody has an understanding, if you don't have a website or you've never built a website before, a lot of these practices and terminology might apply to building a landing page as well. So just 3 words I wanted to get defined and throw some resources down. The first being your domain. So these are 3 important aspects to building a website. So everybody needs to have a domain. So that's www.yourbusiness.com or .gov or .org or whatever your business is. So you need to purchase and own that domain or that URL. Most common places to purchase those are GoDaddy and Google. They're somewhere between $12 and $14 a year, and you are billed either yearly or every other year, depending on how you have that set up. So a really affordable way to own your domain. The next is a content management system. So this is the system that actually edits your website. You don't need to be a coder to have a website. Fortunately, there's the technology that we have today where a lot of it is drag and drop. or a lot more simple than learning HTML and CSS. And common ones are WordPress, Drupal, Wix, and Squarespace. Again, WordPress and Drupal being a little bit more advanced, but more customizable. Wix and Squarespace being a little bit more user-friendly and easy to get started. And lastly is hosting. So your website has a lot of information on it, a lot of images, a big database, a lot of content. All that stuff needs to be hosted somewhere. And basically that means you need to have server space, and you have to pay for that. So two common hosting services are Bluehost and HostGator. Those range from $5 a month to $50 a month, depending on what plan you get. But really, all that said being done, you can really get started building a website pretty affordably. $5 a month for hosting, $12 a year for your domain, and just your own time to learn how to actually build one. But so it really is affordable. And one of the great things about services like Wix or Squarespace is all three of these topics are combined into one. So you can purchase your domain. They provide the hosting and the content management system all in one place. So you don't have to worry about different bills coming in, paying whether or not you paid for your domain or your hosting or anything like that. And so those are great resources. You just pay one place and everything is covered there. What exactly is hosting? Yeah, and so you have a bunch of images, and you'd say you go, you take a bunch of images and you throw them on your computer. Well, all those images are stored on your computer. But when you have on a website, they aren't stored on your computer. They need to be stored in a server, basically another hard drive somewhere else. So there's basically a server warehouse, somewhere else in the country or else in the world, and you are renting space for them to, basically hold your images, hold all of your content, hold your database. So that's essentially what a host is. It doesn't live on your computer. It lives somewhere else, all of the storage for your website, essentially. How low is the cost of Wix or MailChimp? MailChimp is free up until you have, I think it's 1,200 users or 1,200 emails. It is free to use. If you get more than that, then you need to start paying for that. But it's relatively affordable. It can be, I think somewhere between starting at like $20 a month for a paid subscription to HostGator. I'm sorry, to MailChimp. And Wix, gosh, I don't know. I believe Wix is somewhere between $30 and $40 a month for everything. So again, I don't have those numbers in front of me, but pretty affordable. So we're going to jump to the next slide. I guess that's it. All I have for you today. So we'll go back. I hope this made sense. I hope it didn't overwhelm anybody or confuse anybody. But in short, with landing pages, it's a great place to start if you don't have a website. It's very easy for you to throw up some information and a box for your potential customers to say, keep me in the loop when you guys launch your business. Or if you want 10% off your first order when we launch our business, put your email here or something like that. Or if you're an existing business and you really need to target certain sectors of your customers or target specific areas of your business, it's a great way to supplement your website to create leads. It's really the beginning phase of a marketing cycle and a sales funnel, but it's very, very easy and important way to generate a lot of potential customers and leads as well. Again, that's all I have for you. Again, I didn't jump into the actual design of a landing page because there's a ton of resources out there as far as how to actually, go through Wix or go through MailChimp or lead pages and how to design a landing page. I didn't want to reinvent the wheel. With that, it's very easy for you to find those just on YouTube or Google. But with that being said, that's kind of all I have for you today. I hope this was beneficial. We've got one more marketing webinar next week all about email marketing and newsletters. Megan will be leading that on the 21st. And again, like I said, keep an eye out. We are planning on putting out a few more of these all around resources for entrepreneurs coming in the next few weeks. And I'll stay on and chat with anybody, answer any questions. Yeah, thank you for stopping in, and I'll go ahead and try and answer a few questions that we've had come in so far. So, so the question is, what part is MailChimp included in, domain, CMS, or hosting? So MailChimp is a platform that you can send mass emails in. So Megan will be talking about that more next week, but essentially, if you get any sort of email from any company and it has images and graphics and stuff in it, they're using some sort of mass email platform and could be using MailChimp. So essentially you upload all of your contacts, so your email addresses, and then you can send them targeted marketing emails. They also have recently added the feature of building a landing page. So that aspect of it is you have the ability to design a landing page, hook it up to your website, and you can have a landing page, and whoever fills out that contact form will automatically be put into your list, your email list or contact list. Next question. Should we plan on building our own site at some point? Also, how difficult is the switch from one resource to another? Yes, I think, I mean, not every company needs a website. I don't think it's 100% of every company. But for how affordable websites are, I think it'd be silly to not have a web presence. Whether it's just a landing page and the rest of your marketing is somewhere else, through email or phone calls or postcards or whatever it is. But for $5 a month, which is pretty much the cost of hosting, for you not to have some sort of web presence, I think is you're not taking advantage of that opportunity. And how easy is it to switch from Wix to Squarespace? Depends on how big your website is. If you have 1,000-page website, it is pretty difficult and timely because I've done it before. If your website is 5 pages, then it's pretty much just copying and pasting content or changing content that you want. There's not, as far as I'm aware, there's not an easy tool out there that says, hey, I have this Wix website and I want to move it to WordPress, make it happen. There are some tools to help you move specific content over, but a lot of it is just kind of starting from scratch. Again, it really just depends on how big your website is and how complicated it is. Yeah, I guess I can maybe take a look more specific examples and we can take that offline, but yeah, I guess that's my answer for that. Diana asks, what performs better, landing pages on stock images or real photos? Real photos, 1,000% if you have the ability to do it. Not everybody has great real photos. Candid photos are so much better than stock imagery. Now, there is some pretty decent stock imagery out there and it's getting better, but more often than not, you can tell this was a stock photo or stock photo is used, and just doesn't give the kind of real life to the business, I guess, or to the landing page. So if you've got real customers, for example, on a testimonial page, and they can submit a real photo of them, you can generally tell that it's a real individual versus a stock photo of somebody in a business suit with a business background or something like that. So if you have the ability to use high quality real photos, I definitely suggest doing that. Landing pages are totally separate from your website, right? Also, where should you include a link to your landing pages. So yes and no. Yes, a landing page is separate from your website. It can have the same, maybe part of your URL. So if we go back to that Uber example, I believe they're both uber.com, and then the landing page just has a bunch of characteristics after it. But generally, landing pages aren't linked anywhere on your website. They are generally linked to campaigns. So if you're running an ad campaign, or even an email campaign, so not everybody has the budget to run a paid Facebook campaign or Google campaign or something like that. But you have a bunch of contacts and you can send an email out to them. You can make a specific landing page linked within that email. And then that way you can kind of track to see where your people are coming from. And you can track the performance of that as well. So you're not going to necessarily have a landing page linked within your real website, but they are going to be linked to specific campaigns that you're running to promote whatever you're trying to promote. Are you going to hold any more webinars after email marketing and newsletters? Yes, we just haven't announced them yet. We are in the process of planning those. I can tell you they're going to probably range more a variety of topics other than just marketing. But we are working on those right now. So stay tuned. We'll probably make an announcement next week or two on that. But yes, we will have more webinars as we're all still stuck at home and hopefully fighting through this whole thing together. All right. Yeah, Daniel, you got that right. So your CMS, or your content management system, is a platform, a website generally, where you can upload your images, change your text, change the colors of your website, and that's what that is what a content management system. And hosting is, yes, you pay somebody to basically hold your images and your text, and so even though you delete them off your computer, they're still somewhere. They're still being able to be read on every computer across the entire world. So yes, that is what hosting is. It's a little bit more difficult to explain, but essentially it's a hard drive full of everything on your computer, or I'm sorry, everything on your website, so anybody can read it from anywhere. Because if you host if all of your content is on your website or on your computer, and your computer crashes, then nobody can see it. So it needs to live in some central secure location, so everybody can see your website. Shawana, yeah, absolutely. These are, definitely in its current state, these webinars are open to everybody, not just targeted at Iowa State students, but open to literally anybody and everybody who has the ability to find us, I guess. The original idea for these were to have them in the Student Innovation Center on campus, doing an in-person workshop. And even at that point, they were still open to the community as well. So we'll kind of navigate through this as things kind of get back to normal, as far as finding a balance of doing in-person workshops and online webinars. But yeah, absolutely. Anything that you're able to attend, and we'll make it clear if it's specifically targeted at students, or if we're open to community members or anybody else. But at this point, anything that we will share is open to anybody. Sue, yes, we absolutely are taking suggestions. I will send out an email later today or early tomorrow morning, just with a recap of a link to this, along with a short survey just asking about how we did. And then within that survey, there is a suggestion or a question about any recommendation for future workshops or webinars. Feel free to type them in here as well. But we will be sending you a survey where there's a specific question about any suggestions for things in the future. Daniel, I'd be happy to talk with you more. Maybe we can schedule another Zoom about this if you're curious. I'd be happy to kind of run you through more information on the ins and outs of a website and kind of what the back end looks like and all that. So feel free to shoot me an email. I'll go and throw it in here. I guess it's on the screen as well. And I'd be happy to kind of walk you through this some more to help you better understand hosting and everything like that. No, Tom, I'm not sure if I will be able to answer your question specifically. Really, I would say for a bootstrapping founder, it probably depends on what sector they're in. And you know, what service or product they are offering. If talking specifically about landing pages and websites, they are extremely affordable, and it really depends on your level of time and design skills, whether you want to take that on yourself or hire somebody else to do it. But at minimum, having just a landing page to collect leads is a great way to start. Yeah, again, I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to answer your question any better than that. Again, thank you everybody for hopping on this, and everybody who stayed on. I'll stay on here until everybody else decides to leave. Any more questions, I'd be happy to answer. If anybody wants to dive deeper into landing pages or website information, I'd be happy to talk more with you about that. But yeah, other than that, again, have a great rest of your Wednesday, and I'll stay on for a while and see if I'd love to chat with anybody who wants to chat more.